What's up, everybody? It's Hampton Land of Vegas. Let's talk about some truths, concerning the Phoebus. Uh, Growing up, my family, they were mostly Hampton Crabbers. You know what I'm saying? So, the last several decades or so, the main rivalry has been Phoebus. So, growing up, it was either you on their side or you on our side. So, some of the games, there was no handshakes in between both sides. And you know, I'm in a couple of like high school football groups, and I talk trash. That's what I do, man. But as a fan, it's nothing that's personal against the kids that's playing. I'm not specifically talking about a kid because I don't believe in doing that. These kids are still, developing. They're in high school, but I will talk trash about the school and the team, like collectively, as a fan of the sport. It's no different when Cowboys talk about the Washington football team, Redskins, Commanders, whatever you want to call it, or vice versa. Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, Virginia Tech. It's just trash talk. Difference is I'm not talking about particular kids. And I noticed that the main people that got something to say usually is the ones that didn't play for Phoebus and they put their child there, so they living vicariously through their kid. And I understand support your kid, root for them and all that, but they don't understand truly the Hampton Phoebus rivalry. So like if I'm talking trash about Phoebus, I just want people to understand that it's just as a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like when these kids go to college and, I'm actually rooting for them. You know what I'm saying? There was like several guys I can name right now that graduated from Phoebus that I was fans of, and I followed them, when they were in school and playing, And unfortunately for a lot of guys from Phoebus, like here's the difference between Phoebus and Hampton. Um, Phoebus, they send kids, every year to colleges, and that's the ultimate victory is sending kids to get an education and hopefully they'll graduate and do something, to further their lives along. But truthfully speaking, a lot of fandoms talk about like their program as a dynasty and by championship in recent history, that is fact. But what is not really considered is the football success after you matriculate to the program. A lot of guys from Phoebus, for whatever reason, whether it was talent, whether it was missed opportunity, legal issues, some things just happened that just wasn't fair and out of their favor. A lot of those guys do not find success after college, like football wise on the field. Um, the most successful uh, football player on a professional level that went to Phoebus. I didn't say the most talented guy from Phoebus, the best player to come out of Phoebus. I'm saying on a professional level, NFL, National Football League level, the best player that came out of Phoebus uh, only lasted a couple of seasons, bro. And there was a rotational player at best. And I'm not, and they still win. They win through majority of people that ever played football because it's 0.0001% that actually make it. But really, really pay attention that, you know, Phoebus don't have any guys that made a Pro Bowl. They don't have a guy that's in the Hall of Fame. Um, they just got guys that, you know, they might get a look in the NFL, but the most successful that came from Phoebus uh, literally only played like like 2 to 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. And it's no disrespect to that individual. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm just put things in perspective. Now, that's not to say that from now on there might be some kids for Phoebus that find success in the future. I'm just saying, like, let's be realistic. If y'all want to talk about like y'all being the best program in Virginia history, which is not true, because Hampton still got y'all beat. You know, they got like 18 state titles, 2 national titles. Y'all don't have no national titles, and I think y'all only got like like 10 state titles, which is still great, but it still doesn't measure up to what Hampton has in totality. And then we got a couple of guys in the Hall of Fame. We have Pro Bowlers. You know what I'm saying? Most recent was Tyrod from a few years ago. Um, so if you look at the overall success rate on the field, Hampton still has y'all beat. Around the world, join us at our new time. And then, excuse that. That was an accident turn on the radio. Um, if you look at also Newport News, there's guys that had furthermore success, and that speaks to the talent that Newport News has. Or, like about the high school, they had like a couple of guys that were monsters in the NFL. And, it just put things into perspective. Now, I'm not talking about the guys that graduated from Phoebus and went on to have successful careers outside of football. That's all well and good. But I'm speaking specifically on the totality of the empire, the dynasty, and the overall effectiveness on the field success. Um, so back to, you know, talking about like the truth about Phoebus, they have a great program in terms of developing players. I've seen a lot of guys come and go out of the district, but Phoebus definitely developed their players from a physical standpoint. You always can expect, their players to be uh, well trained, in good shape. So that's always a positive. They're always on the field going to be a disciplined team. So you can't take that away from them. Now, for just for the sake of trash talking, I'm still gonna talk my trash. All right. So I'm not stupid or naive to just be a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm just having fun with it. All right. So I just want everybody to put things in perspective and remember, um, the guys that are going on to graduate from that program, I wish them nothing but success. Once they graduate, I want to see them have successful careers on and off the field. Because we all come from the 7-5 in one way, form, or fashion, and I'm always going to support, the crib. So just let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for your time. This is Hampton Land, Vegas.